from Nachang Sport tonight, and today let's just do combinations. Very frequently people request combos or show them how to do things, and well I'm trying to break it down, and the timing and which situation it is better or it's worse to do it. So yeah, I just find it quite entertaining and interesting for myself as well. So let's do that. Well, I'm gonna wait for people coming in the live stream first, and then we can do some combinations. In the meantime, I'll just warm up a little bit. Hello, hi. Hope you're doing well. I like lazy warm up. When I do the class, when I join the boxing class, of course I follow on their warm up, but I try to put as less effort as possible. You know, just wearing yourself out during the warm up is not the best idea in the world. So the opposite. Okay, as I said, feel free to join the live stream and we'll go through the combos. I'll start myself as well. There are certain basics that it is always worth to go through and practice, and then people might join the live stream and bring in some new ideas. By the way, there's a little bit difference how you warm up your hips, your pelvis, and then you also do the same with your upper body. So you move your upper body, you rotate your upper body more, and here you rotate your hips more. I train hard, fight easy. Us. That's right. Us. That's completely right. A little bit of stretching, but it's better not to do a heavy stretching or way too much static isometric stretching as the warm-up. It's better to do a little bit of dynamic stretching. It's fine, but you don't really want to stretch your muscles. That's better to do it afterwards, after the training. Okay, hip joints. But anyways, as I said, today trying some combos. I'll go through some basics, but I was thinking about going from the complete zero to gradually leveling up. Every time is a little bit of, some people already know that. Most of the people who watch me might know that. So I decided to make it more like a piece by piece, a requested combo. Certain things that I have to offer for you to might be an interesting thing to practice, and we just do it that way. I take a time, explain how to do it, and we move on to the next one. What's the absolute basic that we can do on our first day? That's a very good question. Let's start from that. The absolute basic is establishing your stance. I already explained how to do it. Have you put your legs on the sides of your shoulder. Make a step forward. If you are a right-handed, which are the majority, you're gonna step your left leg forward. And this is my left leg. It's just the camera flipping. So just try to memorize. I'm Orthodox originally, and the tattoo arm is my left arm and left side. And then I rotate slightly. And that's it. Basically, I just stand half diagonal stance. Obviously, depending on the style, some people like to stand like this, like a Mexican style, or peekaboo style. It's more forwarded, but we just go classic, right? And from here, we'll learn how to move your hips, move our hips. And as you see, it starts from my feet. It's not only my hip movement, it's my feet that dictate power rotate, and then the rest of the body moves on it, and then we add up hands. So we start jab, cross, jab, cross. If you see in the camera, my elbows are dropped, so I don't go like this. I don't do this, okay? So my elbows are dropped, and when they extend, they go back from the same position, and then aim to the chin. So I'm not throwing my punches here. Right in front of me, aiming to my chin. If you do that in front of mirror, it helps. Okay, that's it. That's what you need to practice. And obviously, you evolve gradually. You go like 1, 2, but without breaking the technique. So sometimes people do it well, slowly, quite soon, easily, but then they go like this. No, we need to learn how to use the same movement. Not even, maybe not fully, but it's just how you give the impulse. So you want to throw the cross, you don't stay here fully sticking your leg to the ground. You see very often, because boxer is gonna throw fast punches, and it depends on the range, you know. If you're further, obviously you want to sometimes extend more. If you're closer range, it's fine. You don't really need to rotate too much, but the idea is the same. You need to learn how to give that impulse. Sometimes you're gonna go full rotation. Sometimes it might be just a boom, boom, a little impulse. But the point is to learn it, learn the whole range in the beginning. So that's why we're not doing this. We do 1, 2, 1, 2, a strict movement, and then we learn 1, 2, and you try to speed up and add some power, but still doing that full range movement. Okay. Is 22 too late to start boxing? No, not at all. Boxing, well, I didn't transition to pro, but looking forward to do that. But I've been doing boxing for 10 years. First 2 years I've been in amateur boxing, and then I retired, but then I kept training others. Became a personal trainer, a certified personal trainer, but not only in boxing, but beyond, you know, trauma prevention, physical training and conditioning, hypertrophy, strength training as well. So and obviously the nutrition and the diet, and all of that knowledge helped me to re-understand boxing as a sport as well. How old are you? I'm 25. Advice for someone who is dealing with procrastination and laziness. Even the most productive people you see, they have that problem every now and then. So it's just to learn how to exercise, pushing yourself to do things that sometimes you don't want to. You don't want to start to do. Not like you're not going to enjoy the process. It's usually starting is the biggest thing. It's the biggest problem. Once you make that first step, it actually goes like a flow most of the time. So it's about, some people use like a 5-second rule. Some people prepare themselves. I would advise you to just take one task at a time and start smaller. Basically start from when you wake up, instead of spending extra 2 hours and laying in a bed, scrolling, brain rotting. Once you wake up, like, usually you need to go to bathroom, right? Well, after the bathroom, don't go back to bed. Go open the curtains, and that's it. That's the first thing you need to start doing, and then just do set the little goals that you want to get better at, and just start implementing them one at a time. I've been watching boxing for 30 years. Well, that's a lot. That's older than I am. For which country do you fight for? Well, I'm from Georgia originally, but I would probably come out with the Georgian flag because it's in the professional boxing. You can do that, like you just represent your country, but you can train anywhere else. I do Kyokushin and Shito for 6 and 7 years. That's good for you. Can I keep scrolling? have some real fight, and let's see how good you are. We'll definitely want to have some real. I even actually this gym has a tournament in the 6th of December, and I just asking them every day if they find me a match, like weight wise and gender wise. So they're looking for a girl approximately my size, obviously my experience, like something, like that. That would be even like a semi-professional. It wouldn't be even an official and professional fight. But I'm, trust me, I want to get onto it. But in Vietnam, might not be as big competition as in Thailand, for example. And we might do Thailand. Me and my husband go to Thailand on the visa run, maybe. I don't know. It really depends. But I'll definitely translate my fights here. I'll upload or do the live stream on it, no doubt. What about jacuzzi? All we know, Umar is not welcome to Murat's jacuzzi. Unisex tournament or only girls? No, both boys and girls. But obviously, men and women more like. And obviously, with kids, it's still different, especially in the wrestling. I've seen some mixed tournaments up until like 7 to 10 years or something. But then when boys hit puberty, it changes. It's like a natural doping for guys. So definitely those categories are split. And it wouldn't be a point for me to do a real fight. I'd rather lose if they go all in, or they or it's like a hesitation from the men's side. So I'm completely against having boxing matches, men versus women, because it just doesn't make sense. Okay, there are new people here. Hello. Islam is the best fighter in the world. Well, he's definitely one of the best in the UFC at this point. Jake versus Joshua confirmed. Well, let's see if it's not rigged. Okay, equal rights. Huh? Well, do you put a lightweight men, between men, for example, lightweight against light heavyweight? Would you? I mean, like, do you think Gervonta Davis, Jake Paul, if that was a real fight, would be okay? It wouldn't, because there is a big disparity. Well, look at it like a men versus women in the boxing, at least. And okay, let's be honest, most of sports, but in the boxing specifically, when it's directly hitting a person, and quite high risks of the long-term brain damage if you approach it that way. Look at it as the different category. You just don't put them in the same. It's kind of like an unfair fight. I'm 22 in college, want to seriously start boxing. Please guide and tell me where should I start. I'm good in body weight exercises. Well, good for you. That probably you already have some developed relative strengths. You gotta go to one of the local gyms. I think that's the best advice the most practical advice I can give to you. Okay. Yeah, that's not possible, but women's great too. No, it's just like basic biology. Like you can have a good. What I'm wishing for female boxing is to keep going, to keep getting more technical. So it's actually super entertaining to watch. So that is I think this is where female boxers and female whoever is contributing in female boxing development and female fights, so they become more entertaining through the technique and strategy development. So it's not like because women tend to brawl more than men, and yeah, a lot of men of like an average level fighters, but I'm talking about like a higher level. If you compare like elites, men offer way more technique and tactics And that's what is entertaining to watch. So I think women's boxing is on its own way, and well, with the more women's gonna start thinking about it that way, not just go and fight and fight, but actually try to use the angles, use the strategy, try to match the style with an opposing style, all that kind of stuff. I think it's going to be more entertaining, and it's going to be great for the sport. 16-year-olds better than women. Oh, 16 is already puberty, so that's the thing. It depends what level of the puberty is the kids. Some boys don't still don't hit their puberty when they're 16. They're just starting, and that you can see that through their height, through their voice and that kind of stuff. Some boys, when they're 16, they're already looking like a grown man. In Georgia, that's actually usually a thing. You wouldn't. Sometimes you look at the kid and you think he's like a 25 and he's like just turned 15. That like there are kids in Georgia like that, boys in Georgia like that. So I mean, when it comes to the thing, I was when I was doing sparring, in one of the sparring days, the coach puts he does it that way. He puts his boys who are competitive, young boxers, with the girls or women. So they are not in the puberty, but they already hit hard, and they are like kind of like and he tells them to go fully in. And for me, I was a little bit in the situation that, I mean, he's a boy. He's still a boy. Yes, he is. He's going to grow into a man, but he's still a child, and he's like my height, maybe even a little bit shorter. And he definitely didn't hit that puberty yet, but he punched hard, but he also was going in. But in this situation, I don't know, it depends. Some women take advantage of it, and they're like, oh yeah, like I will never do that. To me, he's still a child, and what I try to do is just be technical, learn something from myself, use his pressure because, well, I'll be honest, he already hits. He was already punching harder than most of the women, my weight class. So that was a good thing for me to use as the replicating the pressure. But I was not going try to knock out that kid. Come on, like that's just not how it works. And I think even if women are sparring with like a younger boys, they understand that they are adults, and even though they're physically as strong as they are, or even stronger, you need to act like an adult, even if you're a woman, a female boxer. So it's an interesting thing, with men, there are certain benefits for women boxers for the preparation sake to spar with men. I'm talking about technical sparring. I'm not talking about brawling and anything like that. So who knows the field, who's been there, they will understand what I mean. I would go for Shevchenko. Katie Taylor, one of the best examples. It's actually funny. Katie is super technical. Her defensive part of the boxing style is great, and it's quite great. Her coach is Georgian. He's originally from Georgia, so I think in 2012 she was still in the amateur boxing at that point. He brought her to Georgia, and she kicked a lot of guys' ass. But I'm talking about the guys of the national team, maybe a little bit lower weight class or like similar weight class. And when I asked, wow, like what do you mean? She was way more technical. And back then, at that point, Georgian boxing was not as good. Like we didn't have those, super strong school. Now it's way stronger. So now all the boys, all the men became, even heavyweights, became super, way more technical, way more fast, reactive than they used to be. But at that point, Katie was just a higher class as the boxer. Well, I mean, she's one of the best female boxers of all time at this point. So she definitely might be better when you look at the purely as the boxing perspective. She might be better than a lot of men boxers. But no, it was what it was. It's like a sport, and we know that men are stronger than women, right? So men can outpower women most of the time, unless there is like a very high weight disparity between man and woman, possibly. But there is another aspect to it when we talk about boxing skill. And here also, hear me out, men are more explosive. Men still have a better potential because of the muscle density, testosterone, they can generate explosive momentum better. But women also can do it, and like sprinting is a very good example. If you look at the men and women sprinting, obviously a fraction of a second is a big difference between men and men, right, and stuff. But it's still fascinating to see that women are not that much behind. It's like the fraction of a second between the fastest men and fastest women in the 100-meter sprint, meaning that women, if they work, it's harder for us to build that muscle mass. It's harder to do all of that kind of stuff. But if we focus on it, we can develop certain similar skills, technique, strategy, all that kind of stuff. And I think this is how like boxing should be. Like there is nothing wrong with a woman, a high-class female boxer outboxing you, not beating you, outboxing you. There is nothing wrong with that because she's been in the game longer time. She's been training under the right team, under right preparation and program. She has more experience. That's completely normal. You Georgian? Yes, I am. I'm talking a little bit too much, but I'm gonna get to the combos now. Okay, appreciate you being here. Boxing, purely boxing. What's the best technique women need to defeat men? You all know, guys, you all know the answer. Kick to the nuts and run away as fast as possible. We're talking about self-defense. Oh, knees, elbows help. I'll be honest. Like if someone tries to grab you, knees, if you can land those, because trying to do things, whatever is sharp, whatever is quick, whatever leaves the damage and gives you time to run away, that works the best. Okay. Well, all right. You know what? Let's put it a little bit in the motion, okay? I'm gonna put on my gloves. Before you ask me why I'm not putting wraps on, I'm just not gonna go too hard right now, so I'm not gonna bother. All right, give me a second. Hi to Argentina. All right, I love this bag. It helps to throw good uppercuts. Okay, like before I would want to, I was like, oh, let me train, and I'm super, super explosive, that kind of stuff. But then I realized, why waste the energy? Why waste the precious energy from the very beginning and all the time? Because there is a point. If I go against the opponent and I do like boom, boom, and I miss, it's super uncomfortable, guys. So I'm more and more looking myself at it as really reading who you're fighting. Usually when you do pro, in advance who you're fighting. You can see their fights, you can see the materials, you can see what they've been done before. Let me just move this thing a little bit here. Okay? Can you be my coach? Well, I'm coaching you a little bit already, so stick around. But yeah, so, and after watching more last fight between Crawford and Canelo, that became even more clear. Using the momentum. Sometimes you set it up. You do, for example, you use the varieties. Even if we just take a single jab, right? We do a posting jab. We do like a regular jab. We go like boom, boom, switching jab, and then sometimes you extend it, get in, bump, bump, kind of come up. So setting up it for different stuff. And what I like to do, again, after watching some of the Crawford's fights, actually started switching stances, but not in the way that, oh, I switched the stance. It just gave it always gives a little bit of confusion to both southpaws and orthodox, but then if you don't know what to do with it, what do you do, right? I'm not a natural southpaw. Like, my right jab is not that good, but after training for years and developing my left jab, guess what? When I learned to switch the stance, it goes super natural as the left cross. So what I started using, and it worked already a couple times that I sparred, it would be, so obviously I lift my guard up, I use my hands, ball, sleep, boom, boom, sleep, bum, 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 sleep. You see what I did? I just switched the stance, and I extended that arm. It doesn't have to be a powerful jab. And then from here, boom. It works with both. For the southpaws, it's very unusual angle for them. For the orthodox, also can be quite confusing. So I started to looking at the boxing. After breakdown, boxer sounds like a chihuahua. Yeah, that's funny. But anyways, what I'm saying is, let's start looking at it as the game, as a strategy. It's a hard game. Obviously, when you're put in the position, it's hard to do 100% of what you've been training. But I still believe if you train smart together with hard, hard is meaning you develop your strength, power, physicality, endurance. That is a hard. Smart is meaning not waste your energy for nothing, pace properly, learn how to counter different styles. When you have a long bouncing boxer with a super long reach, well, let them do that. They're gonna try, usually they try to do like a counter you. So, it's already a good idea to keep your hands closer to your face, because you do pump, you can do pump. That's okay, pump, pump, that's okay, pump, pump, pump. Check. Usually what happens with them, the left jab to the stomach works well there, and it helps you to cut the distance. So there are certain things you shouldn't rush with them. Let them bounce, throw some punches, get it on your guard, with the movement, boom, boom, boom. Try to counter it every now and then. Once you start seeing that they are dropping their arms, this sign, when the boxer does that, it's usually they start getting tired. It's not that they are they might show you that they're teasing you. I mean, sometimes they do, they're obviously, sometimes. But when you see they're gassing out, shaking their arms, it doesn't mean automatically that they're done. Now it's your time to shine. Against a good boxer, it's still, you gotta be careful with them. But that means you can start putting more pressure. So in this case, you can do it, boom, 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 boom. Start switching angles, boom, always go. So once you get there, right? Yes, you do 1, 2, 3. Let's say some of that landed. But what's the point of standing here or going backwards when you can, a little movement, just, you already pushed that hand in their face, right? Go here and then boom, boom, for example. So things like the mato shifts, things like the cutting through angles, sticking to their body. With a longer person, you want to be here. You want to be sticking, at times at least. I'm not saying you have to just push them and clinch all the time, but whenever you get in, use their own body. Get in here, even push them in, and then boom, boom. You see, and now already down, boom, for example. So that's the most uncomfortable range for them. Even when they try to throw and do the punch, because of the long reach, it's very hard for them to get it. It's easy for you to weave under and all that kind of stuff. Okay. It's almost not power, right? Well, both power is good, but stamina is the first. I'll tell you what, stamina is the first. Okay, How are you? I'm doing well, thank you. Guys, please don't spam, I appreciate you. Carlos Prades or Leon Edwards? Prades. Okay, but please don't don't spam, because I will have to time you out. Okay. My dog. The stamina is the best. No, stamina is directly linked to your willpower. It is. So the better your stamina is, the better willpower you will have to be on the ring. In punch, what is the most powerful thing in punch? Well, it's being able to using speed, transform your speed, velocity. Generate powers through velocity. So let's say you're strong, you did the strength training, it's good for you. That means you already have a material. But powerlifters are strong, but without the right technique, without learning how to generate that speed and explosive momentum, which, you know, it becomes a result of learning that exact technique, you're not going to be able to generate that power. It's almost like a power clean. You know, you can be strong in a deadlift and generally, you know, do lat pull downs, so you have like a pushing capacity. But when you do power clean, it's like a whole, it's a momentum. You gotta learn to create the momentum, and so rooted into the technique. Same with boxing. So what I was showing, boom, 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 starting from the feet and transiting into hips and then following into the rest of the body. This is the core of it, right? So, and also another thing, you noticed the elite boxers, they're like super, they don't try to go heavy, they just try to learn how to create explosive momentum, but also not suffer on their speed. When some of the boxers, or sometimes when they're getting exhausted, you notice them, they're like they slow down, their explosive momentum is not as good. Why? Because explosive momentum takes away energy, no doubt. It takes away energy, it's hard, but that's why you gotta pace it. That's why Peekaboo was legendary. I was actually rewatching some stuff about it. I was watching about Jose Torres and Floyd Patterson. And Floyd Patterson is officially one of my favorite boxing personas now, like with his personality, dignity, and boxing. But when we look at the origins of the Peekaboo, it's super explosive, super powerful. You know, if you really learn how to use Peekaboo. But if you have a boxer that sleeps through those punches, like someone like maybe Ali could do that. Muhammad Ali had a great experience with dealing with stronger, more powerful, heavier contenders. What would happen is that the style itself exhausts you. So that's why pacing is important. In the modern boxing now, you don't have to go hard. It's sometimes good to pretend that you are rather tired, or you're maybe a little bit hesitant. No, not really, but you're not fast. You're not going fast. If you watch the Canelo versus Crawford, Crawford gave away 3 rounds to just study Canelo. Crawford did that, right? And then he just once he came up with the pace, with the gaps, with the plan, boom, he wins the whole fight. So it's kind of like, obviously it also matters how many rounds you have and all that kind of stuff. But things like that is that is an example of real boxing. Peekaboo is easily conquered by out boxers who can punch the body. Yes, that too, and just the good range boxers as well. Everything defeats by speed. Speed. But again, you might be fast for 1 minute and that's it, and you gas out, or you actually have you train your physicality, you train your stamina that helps you to keep up with a higher pace for a longer time, and that's kind of what is one of the most important aspects. Have doubt, more power is straight punch or uppercut? It's all about the angles. The most powerful punches are actually not the first one, for example, or just if you just throw. So if you just throw single cross, which usually no, it's because of the range, obviously it's powerful, but let's think about it that way. Is it going to be faster if you just throw it like boom, like quick one, or it's going to be faster if you do, let's say, jab and boom, because you leave that jab and you pull that jab back, and you increase the speed and the momentum. So second, third punches are usually the ones that are most powerful. That's why one of the highest knockout rates through the punches is left hook. Why? Because if you do just a left hook, not really. But if you do like a jab boom, and from here you just jump up, that's a second punch in this case, right? So here I have an increased range. I'm already loaded after pulling like my first thrown punch, and then I come back. So at least this is how I look at it. Okay. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna just do a little readjustments here. Okay, here, all good. We don't want any negativity. It's okay to disagree with me, and you know, you can write why, and we can talk about it. But you know, just calling names and being a keyboard warrior, you know, no one likes that. I got punched by a boxer once, and I to shock. The most painful is actually liver shots than the like here. That really hurts. Bonjour. Hello, where you been? I mean, I've been live streaming. Too many people who have never been punched on their face around here. Yeah, I guess, but that's okay. We'll try to moderate it. Does footwork, well, footwork is basically why you need footwork. What does footwork really do? It actually helps you to control the distance. So yeah, it does to a certain extent, because with the footwork and with the good position, you're not gonna do this, okay? Like, and trust me guys, I've seen videos where this is how some guys go on the street to throw their hands. They really do that. So when you're a boxer, you just boom, that's it. So that's just one counter punch and they're done. Are you a boxer? I'm boxer. Liver pain is the worst. Yes, it is. It's horrible. It's like you're laying down and like questioning your choices, but then you get up and continue. As long as you have your mouthpiece, you're fine. But snatching is the real deal. What about 2 or more men against me? I mean, guys, I'll remind you, I'm not teaching you about the street fight necessarily. I can give you advices. Wear the gun if you can, or any other protecting thing. Run fast. No, train martial arts just for the confidence and for the skill. So you are definitely going to give a better resistance that way rather than not having that skill. But the best self-defense is to avoid fights. Be environmentally aware and just look around and be like, oh, I'm not going to that dark alley. Oh, I'm not going to that pub where those guys are just fighting here. That, like, you know, that kind of choices. Are you a pro fighter? I'm looking forward to go pro, but I've been doing boxing for many years, and I've been watching boxing on and off pretty much all that time, and yeah, I'm quite invested. Okay. Hello everyone. How old are you? I'm 25. Okay. So let's try to do some combos. For example, I'm a shorter boxer. I always prefer to keep my hands up, and when I say keep my hands up, I'm not just keeping them like this. This is one of the signs of the amateurs, like who just started, not amateur boxing, but like people who are just beginners, like this position. you want your hands to be here because you're able to boom, boom, boom. Like if you decide to keep your hands close to you, this is what you should do. And obviously, I mean, bum, as I said, bum, let them counter, that's okay. You know, bounce a little bit. You still, even if you are a close ranger, who said you cannot bounce and cannot be free on your feet, right? So you're just like bum, bum. You know, if that's like, for example, usually the stomach works well. In my case, that one works pretty much always. I always reach that stomach. But then from here, one thing you want to practice is learn how to efficiently use that momentum, and you're like, bum. And it's good not to stay here unless you want to switch the angle. But in a classic manner, you can just finish with the left hook or the jab it out, just to create the safe distance. You know Muhammad Ali, I think everyone knows him. Okay, let's try head jab, rear body hook, straight and pivot to your choosing. Okay, let's do it. So, I missed that one, hold up. Okay, so jab, body, and then straight. I mean, it depends what you want, like I go on the straight jab and then pivot, okay? But I will pivot backwards in this case because I already, if I do like jab, stomach, and I go jab, and I do again. So I will pivot backwards. If I start from like boom, 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 obviously it's like you can do boom, boom. So it's like bum, boom, 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 boom. Oh, at least this is how I understood it. Respect us. Hammer Georgian. Some versus GDM, I'll give it 50-50. MMA or boxing, which one is scariest? I mean, in the boxing ring, you don't want to appear, even if you're an MMA fighter, you don't want to appear against the boxer on the boxing rules. But outside of that, MMA wins. MMA wins because of the biggest, more diverse arsenal. Okay, jab, jab, cross, left hook, sleep, sleep, cross, and then upper cross exit. Well, that's not my favorite combination because it's a little bit. I prefer to have a majority of my punches on my front side, right? So if you have like a cross like this and kind of this, and then again like that, it's not how I would do that. So you do jab, jab, cross, left hook, sleep. But that's the thing. If you sleep to following the hook, you would come up with a left one. So let's say we do hook, slip to the right, which you still can do, bump, and then we do cross, bump, bump, something like this then. So it's like a jab, jab, cross, hook. Hold up. Jab, jab, cross, hook, bump, 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 bump. Something like this. So bump, 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 bump. Yeah, I mean, wouldn't do that combination, not because of it's bad or something. It just doesn't lay in my style and creates a, unless I practice it specific way many times, it leaves some openings. Well, it depends on the opponent too, what state they are at the point that I'm doing that. Just doing some combos, talking about my perspective, what works, what doesn't work, or when it works, or when it doesn't work. Okay. Have you tried hitting back like in Captain America does? Yeah, like send back with I think he was doing hooks. One, two, one. So you mean 1, 2, 1. Usually when we say numbers like that, it's the straight punches. So we go jab as the number 1, jab. I would just recommend to don't stay in your feet. So once you learn how to do it properly, so you do like 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you learn how to land all those punches. Try to go from farther, and when you throw that last one, pivot backwards, like come out from that range. So you're like, bum. You see, I'm already, and if they come on me, I can already do something else or sidestep. But I'll try to always, once you learn combination, try to adapt it to different footwork and moving different directions. Okay. Where do I start learning from YouTube? Like any channel for basics. I mean, you can follow my channel, but I would recommend check out Tony Jeffries' channel. Tony Jeffries, he's a British boxer. He used to be a British boxer. Has a significant professional record and also super good amateur record. And he's very, very good at explaining things. So Tony Jeffries, I recommend to check that guy. It's not Russian accent. You did not hear Russian accent. This is Russian accent. The way I speak is not necessarily a Russian accent, but it's okay. Okay, double lead jab, feint, lead jab, rear uppercut, pivot to your choosing. Okay, let me see. So jab, jab, feint, jab, uppercut. I always go for another one to the uppercut and pivot. Okay, let's try it that way. For example, jab, jab, bum, 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 bum. And then from here I go backwards, cross. So let's try again. Hold up. Bum, 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 bum. So after uppercut, I gotta kind of pivot backwards. Again, pivoting backwards because first of all, this bag is not working towards me, right? So if a person stepping away, obviously you would pivot even further forward. But in this case, we're learning how to kind of go backwards and counter if they come on you at this point. So it's like, boom, 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 boom. And you see, it's my habit. I just throw left hand like a pulsing jab very often, just even without landing it. It doesn't matter because even if it doesn't land, it plays a protection role in blinding your opponent, and then it was like a counter cross. Can you keep scrolling up, guys? Soviet style is the best style. What I would say, Soviet style, Soviet boxing style's footwork is one of the best footwork, just because it's very active. And boxers who do Soviet style, they basically almost unstoppable on their feet, right? And it's very hard opponent, I can tell you that, to deal with. Movement jab. Well, there are many movement jabs. It's like a generalizing name, but yeah. Speaking of the jabs, you have like a regular jab, like a moderate power. You have like a steep jab, like boom, go stomach. You have switching jab, pum pum pum. You have double jab, pum pum, right to the head. You have posting jab. This is posting jab. Like you just, boom. Yeah, like they usually try to come at you. You can push a little bit to them or yourself. Bum, uppercut or bum. Go lands. The right lands quite well on that one. Steep jab. 1, 2. Okay, well I did something similar, but I did in boxing, in Soviet boxing, this is like a, so, bum. So a lot of balancing backwards, forwards on your feet. So if we do bum, literally hopping in, bum, and coming back on the right counter, for example. How long have you been training for? Quite a long time. On and off, but 10 years. Jab, cross, head, lead hook, uppercut. Okay. Okay, so jab, cross, lead, uppercut. Good. I just, again, habit. I always throw that jab just to push it away. Okay, so something like that. How to improve left hook from being weak? I mean, left side, if you're an orthodox, just because of the smaller range, it's harder to learn to generate as much power as you do on the right side, on the left side, right? But that's the thing, that you don't necessarily, I mean, if you want to learn to do it as a single punch, get the angle, bum, 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 you know, just slightly shift, boom, so that single punch. But usually you do that in the combos and you can concentrate on the last punches. For example, you do jab, cross, and you do the accent on the left one, like boom, boom, like boom, 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 like you do the accent on the left hand, and that's the thing. You just practice it repetitively on the heavy bag. Pads work too, but I think my personal favorite for learning how to generate power is a heavy bag. What's your opinion? A turning hand inwards on the hook. I think that's the way to go, because this position was for being taught in the Soviet and they do it that way. Nothing wrong. It works on a long hook. Boom, like boom. Works very well. But I wouldn't use hooks on that range unless I'm ending up to be slightly taller in my weight division. I wouldn't even use that style. I would try to get in, pressure. So I would throw hooks in the middle range and the close range, right? Trying to do that in the middle cross range, there is just no point. It's naturally way more comfortable to dig in like to that position. That's the difference. Have you done any MMA? No, I mean, I trained just for fun with my MMA friends. Back in Georgia, there were times that we would just meet and train and teach each other stuff. But I never did it like professionally. Oh, okay, good demonstrations. Notice that you're southpaw boxers. Ever tried to boxing in the regular stance? Well, that's the thing. Camera is flipping the picture and I don't think there is a fix for it. This is my left hand, so I'm an orthodox. But yeah, I switched the stance and I'll show you how I started doing that. I don't switch stance just for nothing. My primary stance is still half frontal, or like still my left jab is my primary jab. But then I just do like boom. So what I do is like boom, boom, boom. All of a sudden I just extended arm, I switch, and it's a moment that your opponent might expect a punch. Like, so let's say they would expect my cross, and I'm like boom, boom. I just extend that hand because my right jab is not that good. So I would just use it as the posting jab, and boom, left hook. That worked. Every time I tried it, it worked. Because this is something that most of the boxers don't expect. Obviously, if too many people start doing that, I think other boxers are gonna adapt better. But that's the beauty of boxing. You're gonna start doing things that not many people do. And try those cuts and try those angles. For example, yesterday I watched I was watching the fight of the Floyd Patterson with against Ingemar Johansson. I think it was that fight, if I'm not mistaken. But I think he was doing very interesting stuff. He was blocking like this, like stop, and that would work. Like he would switch a little bit. Bam. I'm not saying that's something you should go for, but my point is, stop. There have been many things going on in boxing, and they like peekaboo as its own was a very unorthodox style. What Ali was doing was very unorthodox for the heavyweights. Like this is super unorthodox too. But if you think about it, boom, like it, I mean, you don't, it doesn't mean that you should be like this, but it might work. You know what I mean? So it's about finding those new opportunities. Oh, my husband is in the chat. A mommy style. This is a mommy style. Yeah, don't spam, please. Now my husband is here, so he's a moderator, and he's just gonna time out people who spamming. No matter what you say, even if you say the nicest things, please don't spam. Where are you from? I'm from Georgia, the country. Because as we go down, our limbs get weaker. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, Kvara, we have a football fan here. Yeah. By the way, he used to be a classmate of one of my best friends. They were in the same class from the first grade, same prom. So that's quite cool. This is when he was becoming like an upcoming star. So I think he was still in the school when he was becoming very prominent. When it comes to boxing and the striking event, Khabib is very far from good. Like, I'm sorry, but you gotta rewatch his. He had some moments with Khabib, like, but the Conor, but just because he wore him out in the ground so much that Conor barely could move. But if you watch some of the elements of the Khabib's striking, it's not that good at all. Brilliant wrestling. I'm not gonna say anything about that, but not striking. Why do boxers keep jumping? Do you wanna pee or something? Well, I don't know. Ask the Soviet style. I'm not necessarily doing that myself. Like I still prefer to. I mean, I can do sometimes, but you know, I like to have my feet quite solid on the ground so I can navigate. But yeah, there are some like bouncers. That's you can call them that. I guess they want to pee. I don't know. Okay. Stalin was Georgian, but I don't think a lot of Georgians are not very proud of him. Georgia, nice. You guys must be proud of Merab and Ilya. You guys took over UFC. Yeah, I'm quite proud about it. As a small nation. But good we have some other athletes and other sportsmen too that are super prominent in their fields, and it's just UFC became more and more popularized and getting bigger with a paramount now, so it's cool to have two Georgian champions at that period when it's getting such a big publicity. Okay, stop the spam. My husband says he's gonna start timing you out, guys. If you have tattoos, you will go to hell. If you judge, you also go to hell. That is also a sin. Your rugby team is fun to watch. Yeah, that's the only time I watch rugby, when our guys are playing. Same as the football. Okay, can you demonstrate the right way to sleep? Punch to left and right. I started Muay Thai about 3 months now, and when it comes to boxing, I'm very weak talking. So, well, I can give you a boxing advice. If you're gonna be able to use that in the Muay Thai or some elements of it, good for you. But I cannot take a responsibility for teaching you something in that necessarily gonna be good for Muay Thai. Okay, so I can show you. If you're asking me about the boxing, I'll tell you about the boxing. So, well, first of all, you have similar gloves in Muay Thai. It depends. Sometimes it's smaller. It depends on the organization, the fight, the arrangement. But well, pretty much you have certain size gloves anyway. So you still want to keep your, like, Muay Thai are usually, you know, because you need to kind of get like palm, knee, elbow. So you cannot just be like this, right? So you need to consider that too. That in Muay Thai, even though I am keeping my hands like this, you might need to keep them a little bit more loose, your elbows, I mean. But it's okay, because there are a lot of boxers who box like this. I mean, they don't have, so it's manageable. You can always move it back and forth. It's just about, you know, learning different movements and stuff. When it comes to the weaving under, so you always want to, you don't want to get tight on your legs. What you want to imagine is you want to learn how to kind of drop on your legs, and then you come up like boom, boom. Doesn't matter where I go. So I don't just go like the regular movement if I would be slow, but I'm like almost like I just drop on my knees like so. I would suggest you to practice this. Keep your hands up, you know, don't, some people drop their hands, keep them up, and then you just learn how to wave under from this side or that side. And obviously there's some boxers who do this. Again, I still prefer blacks. I would suggest it's way more sustainable. If you learn how to use your legs, you're not gonna get that tired as you would do like bump, 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 too much of the waves that would hit directly on your back. So that's not what you want to do directly. And again, once you do that, always go counter, boom. Usually it's more comfortable to do your wave, and the side you went, let's say I went to the left side now actually, boom, left hook here. Okay, so that's kind of what you do. But don't forget their knees, their elbows, there's some stuff. So maybe that's not even what you want too much. What you want is to, in Muay Thai, what you would want to, because you have bum, right? For example, bum, keep your elbows up, throw the punch, and then you want straight away. So you want to learn how to do like bum, 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 bum. Like, you know, when you have those gaps, you kind of counter with the punch. Both leg synchronized with upper body, lower body. That would make more sense for Muay Thai. And try to keep your elbow up even when you throw a leg, like boom, right? The more you open here, the more vulnerable you are. So try to keep your elbow up still, your hand up still, bum. And yeah, I don't know. I hope you find your way how to do it. Okay, let me see the chat. You got speed, thank you. What happened to your Discord? I don't know. I might be bad with it, but I don't understand how Discord works. And even though Costa, a Fiji guy, helped with it and made it set it up properly, it just, I think I need to update links and re-upload it every time, and I just been forgetting about it constantly. So I apologize for that. But thanks for reminding. Maybe gotta look into it more. Which guard do you usually use? Does it depend on the opponent? Have you ever encountered an opponent using the cross guard? You mean like this? Yeah, very often. And I like to adjust. I mean, I wouldn't just stand like this. if I see they aim to my face and they just, there's some boxers that don't, they're already tired, they're already a little bit desperate, so they just try to come after you. It makes us to kind of like bump, and even have your jab a little bit slightly extended, even if you are not that tall, even if you are not the taller boxer, and you just like boom, throw, like jab them out, and then you just boom, get in sometimes, and so it depends. You catch them, you catch their straight punches, usually straight punches with the right guard. You have your jab on ready, and you can always have it extended, so you can always push away, for example, do like a side step, or you can do kind of, not pull them directly, obviously you cannot pull with a glove, but it's you kind of, you feel the range, so you meet them on halfway, go close the range, go back. So they are like you can kind of go both ways. The idea is when you guard yourself, guard is not only for just taking punches. You ideally need to take punch and always go on the counter. You need always throw, automatically throw some counter punch, or find the range or something. So you can't just be stagnant. Okay. Do you think Elite Taporia has a chance against the top 10 boxer at 143? If we judge by his upper body, yeah. If we judge by his footwork, I don't know. I haven't seen his boxing footwork. There's very important distinction. In MMA, I mean, he has a good distance control. I mean, he definitely gets it right. He knows how to get in. So, kind of like a phantom steps, a little bit of pivoting, not like boxing, but stepping in. He can control that, like that's what I could see from his fights. But then he never showed his boxing footwork, like boxing movement, because MMA is different. So he either already trains it and he knows how to do it, or he hasn't trained it. He trained just the specifics to implement it in his MMA games. And for that, if you're planning to go to boxing, he has to do it. He has to take time off, prepare, solidify his footwork, boxing footwork, his body movement specifically for boxing. And then I think with his power, yeah, absolutely, I think he has his chances if he does that. Okay, bye-bye, have a good day. Chama. Are you in the UK? No, Vietnam, Nha Trang. Let me guys drink water. I'm originally from Georgia, but I'm in Vietnam, Nha Trang. But okay, guys. Well, I gotta wrap it up a little bit now, but I think the format was good. Well, let me know. I'll stay for 5 more minutes, and let me know if you like this format when you give me certain combinations, and I try to work them and share my perspective, or whether it works or not, or does it work for me or not, why it doesn't work, why it works, all that kind of stuff, and we kind of go through that together. Do you like this that kind of format? God bless you, ma'am. Appreciate it. Thank you. I hope you have a wonderful day. I appreciate you as well. Wish all of you guys a good day or good night, depending where you're watching from. Thanks for the tips. Thanks. I appreciate you guys. Can you show your biceps? Yes, I can do that for the end. I mean, it's not massive or something, but I'm cutting. Actually, I should do this. I should flex a little bit, like, oh. And it's good lighting. Look at good lighting now here. But yeah, I'm cutting down. I think I'm like a 50 I broke down to the lower than 54, so I'm like a 53 something kgs, and I would go like first see 51, 50, and see how I feel there, and then I would fight 48. I wouldn't want to start higher because I need to test myself, see where I'm comfortable. And in the 48 kgs, there is much more chance for me to be able to show different styles, meaning that countering, Soviet style, you know, do a little bit more diversity, because the height parameters, they're pretty much the similar height. I think the current champion, she's like my height, world champion according WBC and WBA. So yeah, I'm just cutting, so it's not massive, but it does the job. But okay, thank you very much, guys. I appreciate you, and I see you in the next live stream. Ciao.